Hi there, here again, and welcome back to the channel. And welcome back to part two of how running found me. So where did I finish? I just enrolled myself into Manchester Marathon. So going into Manchester Marathon training block, it's something that I've never ran that far, and I wasn't sure of whether I could even achieve that sort of distance. The furthest I've ever ran, I think, was about 15 miles, which I did in a training block for a half marathon. So nothing in even close to resembles that. And the biggest worry I always had, after I do a half marathon, I'm almost dead on my feet. I'm thinking about that. I've got to do the whole thing again, which I'm thinking, how the hell am I supposed to do this? I just wasn't confident at all. However, with the help of my club, they said you will be able to do it. You'll do the training, and obviously you pace yourself on the right paces to be able to do it. So I got a training plan. I worked to it. Everything was going fairly well. I'm getting my slow runs in and getting some fast stuff. Everything was going well, right? I got to about 19 miles, so that would have been the furthest I've ever ran. I hit a major stumbling block, right? For 3 weeks, I was supposed to hit 20, and it could never happen. I hit 20, I hit about 19 and a half, and it just would not get to that 20. After 19, I felt dead on my feet, and I just gave up. So, but lucky enough, I had a race 4 weeks before London Marathon, which was called Ashby 20. So it's a 20-mile run, as the name signifies, right? And it would have been the furthest I've ran. I went into that run so nervous, saying I've never ran that far. The last couple of weeks I've tried to run 20 miles and it didn't happen. I went in so nervous, also very focused, happened. I got to 20 miles and I finished it and I completed it. And it went except better than I anticipated. It wasn't a brilliant time, but for someone who just run 20 miles for the first time, I was very happy with that going into Manchester. So I felt Manchester was getting very starting to become confident for Manchester. I said, I've got to 20. It's only 10k after that. Only if I knew what happens. What's that saying? The marathon actually starts at 20 miles. It was so true. So we went into Manchester and it was a very warm day. It was the same day as the London Marathon. They had multiple marathons happening on that same day. I think they were trying to get a record, the amount of people running in one day, right? And it was the hottest London. I think it's the third hottest or second hottest London Marathon of all times, and I think it was the hottest Manchester Marathon of all times. And my start time was about 11 o'clock, which obviously the high sun, the cool breeze of the morning had gone. The sun was beaming down. And I've got 26.2 miles to run. However, I started very well, kept in my pace. I realized that I wasn't going to achieve what time I'd set myself for because of the heat. So I had slowed down a little bit. But I carried going. Got through 5k, got through 10k, got to the half marathon distance. I had quite a lot of support. My family were following me all around Manchester on the trams. So how I needed a little bit of oomph or a little bit of extra support, they were there. So I got round, but nothing prepared me of what was going to come in mile 20. Nothing. Everybody says, don't off too fast, don't go. With the heat, I didn't go off too fast. I did everything right, but I hit mile 20 and it wasn't actually on mile 20, but about mile 22, I don't know what happened. I had so much pain in my legs. I had no energy. I could barely lift one foot above the other. And I was almost crying. I said, I've come this far. How am I supposed to carry on? I can't carry on. One of the pacers came past me and he asked me, am I all right? And I said, not really. And I gave me some words of advice, encouragement. He said, just keep going slowly if you need to. You've got this far, you've done the training, you can get to it. So I slowly walk, because I'm one of these runners that if they start walking, you'll never get back into your pace of running again. So I carried on walking. So I walked. No, sorry, I didn't walk, but I ran very, very, very. It probably, if I would, in hindsight, if I probably would have walked, I might have even gone a bit quicker. But I managed, and I got to, I think, probably 2 miles. That's 24 miles. And I thought, come on, let's pick it up a little bit. It's only a couple of miles to go. So I picked it up. You know, I did finish. How I finished, I don't know, but I finished, and I got through. You know, time of 4:40. Not a great. I know everyone will say, right? I could, and I finished it. But one thing was in the back of my head. I went into Manchester saying it would probably be the only marathon I'd ever do. You know, those things that was on my bucket list. I said, I have done a marathon. I wanted to say that. So I went into Manchester. I said, I'm going to do it. I'm just going to do it. Right. I'm just going to do one marathon, however it goes. But one thing, I remember I came off the Manchester Marathon. And when I saw my 2 boys and my missus, gave both of them a hug and said, I'm not doing another marathon again. Never. And the missus gave me some words at the time. We'll see. And as the next couple of days, in hindsight, I reflected what happened, what I had achieved. And the back of my head was thinking, if I did that in really tough conditions, heat conditions, what could I do if it's cooler and some more training? So I started talking to my club friends and some other runners, and people say, what if you want to go for another marathon, you should go for it. So I looked around what marathons were available fairly close to me, and quite a few people said they've done Chester, and I said, that was quite nice. So Chester Marathon was in October, so again I thought the conditions probably will be a lot cooler. You'd have the summer. The half of the summer would be that you would have to train some hot conditions. I do have a holiday planned in August, but I'm sure we can work around that. So I signed up for it, but my training block didn't start for probably another 6 to 7 weeks. So I said, I don't really want to not train and do it, and otherwise I'm going to be back to where I started. Back to where I started at the initial Manchester Marathon before I started the training. So I wanted something just to tidy me up. I thought, how about trying to see if I can get a better 5K? So then I thought, okay. So I think my fastest 5K time was about 27 minutes. I was in our park runs, Canal Hill Park, right? So I thought maybe I can try and improve that. Maybe get to about 26 minutes. So before I actually got a plan to try and improve my speed, I thought, let's see where I am at the moment in relative terms. So I set me as a benchmark. So I went out one day and ran the park run. Exactly, I couldn't do it on park run day, unfortunately. So I did it, I think the day after or the day before. I can't fully remember. But I did exactly the same route as if I would have started on park run, and I ran it to pretty much the maximum I could at that time. And surprising, got 26:55, which is only slightly faster than what I'd achieved previously. And it is a little bit of a hilly course as well, so not a complete flat course. You know, there's a big hill at the end, and there's a couple of hills throughout them. So it's not an ideal fast course. So I said, okay. So I went to an 8-week training block, got through all the trainings. I did quite a few track sessions, tempo runs, fartleks, and some long and easy running. So I got through to the 8 weeks, came in, the weather was really warm. It was very humid. And I thought, happened this morning. But I didn't tell anybody I was going for a pit, but I went out and I pushed. 3rd K I felt was really hard. 3rd K was very hard, but I got through it. And then the 4th, the 5th K, I had that second win. And I came out with a time of 25:40. Absolutely amazing I was. I was so above the moon. I've never seen 5K and 25 on my watch before. So what did that teach me? That consistency, training, you don't always need to run supersonic fast to get faster. You know about this rule, the 80-20 rule. 80% of your runs should be slower in zone 2 and 20% of your runs should be faster. I was one, never believed that, try to go out and try and achieve faster than what I did last time. No structure. This Manchester gave me structure, gave me a plan, and it showed me that if you followed the plan, what's that saying? Trust the process. You don't see these wins now, but come the time of your race or your time trial or whatever you're doing, is you will see the reward. And 100% I saw that reward, because I wouldn't even dream I could run 25:40. I remember before Manchester, and I was trying to get to a half marathon sub 2 hours, which I never achieved at the end, right? I was just thinking, if I could get a sub 2 hours marathon and maybe a 26-minute half, broke everything there. The half, the 26-minute half, that would be really good. But yeah, minute 5K, I broke everything, right? I haven't done the hour half, but the only reason that I haven't had a half that I've done, I think if I went out, I'll do it. If not, get very, very to doing it. So I did that, and my next step will be Chester, and I think I'm gonna stop there for now. And join me in the next part when I will tell you how the training went for Chester and how I got to Chester. Thank you. Please do like, subscribe, comment on the channel, on anything. If there's any you've got, please do drop them in the comments, and I will answer as many questions as I can. Thank you, and see you on the next one.